welcome everyone once again to the West Coast Trios Wrestling Podcast. Uh, this is yours truly, Tony, right here. To my right, we got the California Rattlesnake. Cali, how we doing, sir?
What's up, y'all?
And to my left, we got Mondo. How we doing?
Good. Getting back to the fighting game scene, getting my ass kicked, but yeah, overall online matches, I'll post them up again. But 0-5, and then I won 2 in a row. Rough start.
Oh, so you're turning
Is that a
five.
new game? Is that a new game that came out?
No, it's been fairly out. This one's super old. This was back like in 2000, 2001. But I'm playing the SNK City of the Wolves right now, so
Oh, okay,
go
okay,
check that
okay.
one out. It's pretty fun. It's easy to get into. It's not too complicated like the Capcom Street Fighter 6, which I'm terrible.
Practice makes perfect, though.
Oh yeah, that's true. But too many mechanics in that one. A little bit more simplified in the SNK.
Nice. Oh, good luck. Just keep finding a good fight, I guess.
Yep.
Nowhere to go but up. So get up after the 10, 9, 8, 7, 6 hit start. I'm back. All right, guys, let's get into it real quick. I know it's been a good.
Yep.
It's been a week. Been a week since we talked about wrestling. I know we've been kind of busy handling what we need to handle outside of this realm, but here we are again. So it's good to see you guys. I miss you guys. So let's get right into it. Let's start off from Monday Night Raw, WWE. This week we had about 4 matches. Nice 2.5 hour show. Oh, no, actually it was about a 2-hour show actually because they were still overseas. We're going down the list here. We had Alexa Bliss versus Chelsea Green versus Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch. This was another of the Queen of the Ring qualifier match. Liv Morgan comes out on top there. Then we had a one-on-one match between Sol Ruka and Lyra Valkyria. Sol Ruka came out on top there. And then we had a pretty good match. I think which was one of the highlights for me was Penta versus Rey Mysterio there. And then Penta came out on top. Great wrestling match there. And then in the main event, we had Javon Evans versus Seth Rollins versus Tala Tonga and Ricky Saints. But then we had Javon Evans coming out on top there with another really good King of the Ring qualifier on the men's side. Overall, it was a pretty good show. I think for me, some of the talking points there was, let the women fight. I kept talking about it, and I'm gonna keep on harping it just because I am, competition. I keep harping it on AEW how much I love the women's division there, and I think the ladies here are starting to take notice on the WWE side of things, and they let them fight. I love the fact that again this King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring also tournament mixes a little bit both those SmackDown and Raw together, so there's a little bit of bragging rights there overall when it comes to these quarterfinals. And I just enjoyed watching the women put up a finally good fight. I know, Mondo, you talked about Sol Ruka, undeservingly taking the title from Becky Lynch, but she's starting to show off a little bit more in the ring. Miguel, I know you've been high on Sol Ruka from the beginning. She's showing off what she's made of, and then hopefully she can carry that. Keep building on that momentum, right? So just for me, I think the women's were doing really well. What do you guys think about the women's division this week on Raw?
I think it was overall really, really interesting and great. Like you said, with the tournament on the men's side, the tournament eliminator with the women's for the Queen of the Ring. That was fun. Just wish it wasn't Liv Morgan. Could have gone to somebody else. I'm already tired of her. She doesn't do anything for me. She just screams, harps, and looks good, supposedly. I don't find her attractive at all. But yeah, Sol Ruka looking like she's going on the run which she needs to prove that she's a viable champion. And like I said, undeserving, but make her have that run to make her feel legit. So good starting point. Let it escalate further down. I want her to be the champion at least for the next 3 to 6 months. And then we'll see how it goes. But yeah, it's a good start for her title reign.
Kelly?
For me, I think the women's division has we're in a special place where I think the women's division has a chance to finally be headliners, quote unquote, to say right now. What I mean by that is I understand that they have been main events at cards and that has happened. What I'm talking about is this is their chance to make women's division a staple and forever to talk about. Like, wow, the mids 2020s, the women's division sure took over. Like the way we talk about the Attitude Era and the way some of those wrestlers take over, I think that's how much talent the women's have right now. That if they run and take it collectively, however storylines pan out, I think we're in a special place.
Well, I agree too, and I mean, they women, the women's division headlined the WrestleMania when it was Becky Lynch, Charlotte Flair, and Ronda Rousey for the title. I think it was that New York WrestleMania a couple years back, and that was the epitome. Like that was like the highest the women's division ever gotten, and it was a great sign for them. And then it kind of, yeah, you see the evolution. We got new women coming in. We got people with that may not be experienced, and we had some with experience here that hopefully fine tuning. And again, that WWE style of wrestling, they have to adapt to that. And I think finally, because I'm again I give credit to credit's due, and I think AEW's women's division is, I think it's putting them on notice. And then now, we're starting to see WWE putting that back up there. And again, if I'm harping up on the same thing over and over again, I'm just really happy to finally see them stepping up because of competition. And competition is really good nowadays. And I'm really happy to see that. So that's really cool. Lucha Libre. I think one of the other themes of Monday Night Raw was the overall match that I thought was really, really well was Penta versus Rey Mysterio. And then we saw Chad Gable kind of, talking himself into, hey, I'm sorry. We talked about this last week between you guys, between us about, what's next for Chad Gable? What is he doing? Is this the right path? And I think I believe it's finally over. Where he's apologizing. Now he's going to interject himself and kind of be part of that storyline with Penta and the Luchadors, and somehow kind of become that savior, so to speak. And I guess, like Mondo said last week, where's this going to lead to? Is it going to lead to a run for him? Let's hope so. And I think I'll pass it on to you, Mondo. I think that's what you were talking about last week.
Yeah, so let's hope so. Apology tour for Chad Gable starting. Apologize to Penta, and I feel like yes, maybe he can do something with Penta at this moment, but we'll see where they want to take it. Was this the week where he kind of makes the run and save for the so much wrestling, and I'm just like
Yeah. No,
a
yeah.
lot of
At the end
adulting,
of,
so
yeah.
my mind's a little foggy. Yeah, but he came for the save there when they ripped off Ray's mask. Give me my mask. Can't see. So Chad Gable did the right thing there. That's my impression of Rey Mysterio. And I thought that was great, moving the story along there, and let's see how it progresses. Again, he made his apology. Now it's time to show it. Okay, great next step. Let's see if there's going to be any, I guess you could say, acceptance or any type of retaliation, or maybe just kind of like, hey, we're not there yet, but hopefully they don't drag this whole apology tour too long. And let's have Chad Gable fight, man. This guy's a great wrestler. He showed it down in AAA, and this is something that we really need in the WWE. Showcase your wrestlers, starting with Chad Gable. And I think this is a perfect opportunity. Go with Penta, go against Phoenix, just go up and down the luchadors of the WWE, and maybe they can do something, take a page out of the Ring of Honor book, handshake, before the match starts, show a sign of respect, and respect at the end of the match. And that way, it evolves into something, something that we want to deeply care about, not only the characters, but the style of Lucha Libre as a whole.
Biggie, what do you think?
Lucha Libre I think in terms of how it's getting interjected, in terms of how much more are we seeing it with WWE, and now Chad Gable finishing his story down in AAA, coming back, and like you said, maybe you're not finishing this apology tour and now having to figure out what's next. I mean, to me, it's simple. If I'm one of the writers or the creatives, let's give the belt to Chad Gable at SummerSlam. Make him fight with Penta. Make him start beefing with him about it. Have him, drop the belt at SummerSlam. Get that interchange. Have WWE Universe get behind Chad Gable. We they can't let his momentum die. That's the thing, right? They've kind of figured it out with Penta and Ray Phoenix, right? Penta's obviously killing it in WWE. Ray Phoenix, he went down in AAA, and it seems like he's gonna be there for a while now as a champion. So what I'm saying is they're trying to figure out like this whole how to bring in and live with the lucha, and now that Chad Gable and others, but for now, Chad Gable has been a proven staple that he can go down, come back, and just leave his mark there. Um, it just now opens a whole can of worms because we're talking so much about what does this do for some of the WWE wrestlers, but in reality, have we stopped and really think about, man, what is it going to do for some of the AAA wrestlers, right? I know it's not often that they come up here and get acclimated to our styles, but again, if Chad Gable went down there, learned and implemented his style or the American style into the Mexican style, and that's what we got, what can be done when they see talent from down there that can come up here and kill it, you know?
Oh no, definitely, and I think if they were to, usually they study off of that during NXT, and they'll build on NXT, and then they'll ultimately hopefully bring them up to the main roster where they can meet up with everybody else. And I mean, that's the route I think I would take. I mean, we've seen luchadors unfortunately jump NXT and get into the ring, the main roster. I think the most infamous, I guess, would be Mystico
Sin
Sin
Cara.
Cara over here, and he great height. He was amazing, but then he just botch after botch and injury, and it just was bad for him. And I think he needed to go through that NXT style of wrestling so that way he learned. And you're
Did they
right.
even have
I do believe,
NXT back then?
yeah,
Yeah.
I believe they did.
Yeah, I think NXT's been around since like 2009, to be honest. It's just they never promoted it. It was more of an in-house thing, more for them, more like, yeah,
OVW style.
Yeah,
same thing. They were still putting on shows, but they would never announce it because it was kind of their low-key system of how to build these people up. But
right.
lights started happening and the media started happening, and so they were like, "Hey, we have a brand in itself here." And
Golden years.
yeah,
Golden years happened down there, but the
10 years
Florida.
ago, that was the golden years. The black and gold.
So, oh yeah, Full Sail, and
Hmm.
we could probably talk about that one day too. Again, all the wrestlers that we see now. I, mean, I think half of them or three-fourths of them are are part of the AEW roster, if I'm not mistaken. So, at least where all the classics were. But yeah, like Lucha Libre. Just to quickly, just before we move on to something else, real quick from Lucha Libre. Again, going back to Chad Gable, I really think what's going to happen is he's going to also elevate, or has been, I think, will also bring about elevation for Rusev and Ethan Page, who are obviously the antagonists over here. And now that Chad Gable is there, I think they're going to probably have a good back and forth. And I really hope, and not to take away anything from you, Callie, in a little bit, but I really hope to see Chad Gable at Triple Mania, hopefully in a luchador match somehow, with the guys involved on Raw, maybe somehow with Penta and Ray Phoenix, or not even Ray Phoenix. Who dang it, who was the other dude that came out with the match? Dragon Lee, sorry, Dragon Lee,
Mhm.
maybe with him, maybe like a 3-on-3 type of thing. But that's my fantasy booking for Triple Mania. having Chad Gable come back and to AAA just in that type of capacity. But Lucha Libre, amazing, fun. And then again, we'll be there for Triple Mania in Vegas. Lastly, before we move on from Raw, a good win for Javon Evans. Somebody fresh, somebody new. I can't get enough of what he does and what he brings. His high athleticism, that cutter. Geez, Louise. Sometimes it's he jumps way too high in the air just to like really do that cutter. And then it reminds me of something that I saw on, I think it was not Dynamite, but it was on Collision, I believe. We'll talk about that later with Mondo. The Javon Evans, great win. I think he deserved it. Another point from there was, everybody got their time in the sun in terms of their entrances. Maybe I missed it, but did Tala Tonga actually have an entrance? I have to go back.
I got to go back.
I just trying to say, what I'm trying to get at is like, hey, if you're trying to give everybody the opportunity to come out and show themselves come through, and I was like, man, I didn't see Tala Tonga come out. Like, why the hell are you not showing this monster of a beast? You want to create, this illusion of like, hey man, this guy's is gonna be a baller in the ring. But if
still needs
I
work.
didn't see it, I think I saw Seth Rollins come out, and then Javon Evans, and then Ricky Saints come out, and then Tala Tonga was like already in the freaking ring in there. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. I think, didn't they cut to a commercial and then he was already in there?
Yeah,
or something like
exactly.
that.
So I'm like, what?
They actually did that to. I need to go back. I think they actually did that to another wrestler on SmackDown too, where I seen one wrestler come down, and I could have sworn that. I mean, I was doing something real quick, but I could have sworn I looked up, and they were already in the ring, no entrance. I was like, but there's no way. Like,
What,
no
they did
way.
the Sting coming down from the Raptors. You're in.
Yeah, I
just
think
get
you
him
are
in.
right though. I think you are right. You make a good point with that, because now I want to go back and see that.
I'm like, dude, like, give everybody a chance. Like, this is a 3-hour show of nothing but like entrances and commercials and promos, and we got 4 freaking matches. I mean, again, I would love to see more matches on Raw. Come on, guys, come on, TKO, give us some more action there.
Yeah, maybe
I know
like 6
we love
matches.
superstars. People love to see them. But let's get some action there, and I think they need to add at least
one or two
squash
more
match in
matches.
there.
Yeah. 1 or 2.
Take a page from the Divine Dominion and get a 5-minute match in there. Like, come on, give us another match. But anyway, Javon Evans, great job. Hopefully, you guys felt the same way, getting a win there. But yeah, before I toss away this thing, what do you guys think of overall the Raw? Maybe Javon Evans and the rest of Raw.
Solid
great.
show. I think it was just a solid show. Javon Evans did definitely earn this one. Again, I'm just a little disappointed with the choice of Liv Morgan there, but still a fun match. Again, should have been to somebody else. Again, like we're trying to build up new talent, and I think for the ladies' side, they just kind of dropped the ball there. But overall, very solid, very entertaining Raw. So that's my 2 cents. Or 2 quarters. Remember back in the day?
I agree. It was a great Raw. We probably already made all the valid points that we needed to make aside from what I need to say. But yeah, it was a good show. I was happy. I was pretty decent with what went on. Like I said, for me, WrestleMania is always the reset, right? Like, I'm always curious to see
Always.
what storylines or what direction you guys are gonna do. So I'm trying to be cautious with saying, okay, I'm trying to give them time. Because I want to see what summer happens. I want to see the in terms of storylines and how that direction goes, because I want to see what happens at SummerSlam. At SummerSlam, then I'll give you guys better assertions of exactly what I feel in terms of where this is headed. But I still kind of have no clue, but I'm excited. So yeah, we'll see.
How you know? How you know?
Speaking of, why don't we get into a little bit of Dynamite? Mondo, please enlighten us of Tony Khan and his clan of misfits.
Well, for Dynamite for June 10th, 2026, we saw John Moxley defeat Shane Taylor in a fun little match there. Home, the home hero gets the victory. We saw Mark Briscoe defeat Pac. Another dude, that was like another solid outing. And my boy Mark Briscoe, being the younger of the two, rest your soul. For the older brother up there, we got the win. And then he cuts a promo, but we'll get back into that a little bit later on in the show. And then we saw El Idolo defeating Orange Cassidy in another fun match. I mean, going down the list is just really, really fun. And then we had a bit of a surprise. I was hoping to see Sky Blue advance in this tournament, but
Oh, yeah.
it was Maya World defeating Sky Blue there. And then the main event, we saw Swerve Strickland defeating Brody King. And wow, what what else can you say? These guys were like hard hitting and another entertaining match. Um, Again, AEW doing it right with the matches there, letting them wrestle, letting them kind of breathe, tell the story. Biggest takeaway from this was the opening segment for me with Jericho and Tommy Tommaso Ciampa. It felt like it, like the crowd wanted to get into it, but they were just kind of like not there. Like I was having fun with it, with the whole name calling and mommy Tommy and all this other stuff, but it was just kind of like this. I get it. Jericho's trying to bring the entertainment aspect into AEW, but the fans there, they're just kind of like, we get it, but we're not WWE. But they still had a good time. They were just kind of like, okay, I see where this is going, and where this feud is gonna go. Hopefully, it does lead somewhere, and we can just get them to wrestle finally. And yeah, that was like one of my takes there, guys. What do you think about this whole Jericho and Tommaso Ciampa feud going on to open up Dynamite?
I'm gonna say the one thing that I've been saying, and this is nothing against what they do. This just all has to do with time. I just think that it is time for Jericho to just do his thing behind the scenes. Because like you said, I think the crowd wanted to be not wanted, they were. The crowd were very respectful and wanted to kind of, and you can kind of see it, but it just wasn't hitting. It just wasn't there anymore. And like you said, you can you really blame him? Also, not really, man. He spent a lot of, as you guys know, he spent a lot of his professional time in WWE. You know, not only in WWE, but in different eras of WWE. You know, so he's a person that understands the business and how he's supposed to move with it or kind of be a chameleon with it. You know, and so I just think this is the one act where I think he's trying a tad bit too hard, and I feel he can probably be best and more powerful behind the scenes. Because let's be honest, also in the ring, his movements are a bit slow or have been a bit slow, you know. And again, it's not we're not saying I'm not talking smack about, I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying it's just time, right? I mean, look at what he's been through and but yeah, I was kind of in the same with you though. I just had a little fun with it because I was like the crowd is just confused. They don't know what to do. But it was great though. Like I said, it was fun to watch. Tommaso Ciampa too. That dude's a beast. He probably eats, you know, once a day and probably a piece of bread and a piece of meat because that dude is so cut up. You know,
Uh,
it's crazy.
Yep.
I enjoyed it too. I thought no, I laughed my ass off when he was calling him Tommy and he was being the comical Jericho that I think we loved when you just make the list
Yeah.
and you know and that's again that's a testament to Chris Jericho. Like Miguel said, we saw him evolve not just from WWE but from WCW during his time. He built that character and I love that promo. That was great. That was fun. It was great, and it just shows that what I might be. I may not take you lightly right now, but I'm going to take you seriously regardless inside the ring because you are a beast. You are a killer, and
Mhm.
I feel bad also because Tony Schiavone's out there too, and he's getting somewhat punked from all of this too.
From all
But
sides, not just that segment, but other wrestlers.
But oh yeah, yeah. I mean, Tekla did the
Yeah.
same thing too on Saturday. So, but I look forward to this feud. I think it's something different. I think that's what Tommaso Ciampa, wanted to do from the beginning. Once he left WWE, finally finding something different and staying away from Johnny Gargano and DIY and all that. I think he was trying to do a singles push, but I don't think it never came to fruition. And I think it's happening now. The matches that he had ever since he came into AEW, one after another, banger after banger, and then all of a sudden, like he's going after one of the biggest fish, one of the biggest legends that we have in the game right now, and Chris Jericho. Jericho will light it up. And I correct me if I'm wrong, Mondo. I think they started singing his song, and did he tell him to be quiet, or maybe I was wrong. I don't know. Maybe it was maybe I was thinking something else.
No, they
Um,
were singing a song, and I believe he did ask them to be quiet.
Shut up, right? Yeah.
Yep.
So so my thing is that for that crowd in that place, I thought it was very intimate. I really loved it and hated it at the same time because it's so small, but it was so cool at the same time because everybody was chilling there. You can see grandma kicking it with his grandson, with her grandson right there. I don't know if you caught that, but you see it on the second row on top. There's grandma kicking it on top there. But it was such an intimate venue. I really enjoyed that. But and I think that's where you're right, Miguel. Was like, well, what do we do? What's the crowd doing? Do we go with it? Do we not? If it was a bigger crowd, I think somebody would have started a chant, and I think everybody would have went with it. But since it was a small venue, it was like, huh, what? Ha ha. Oh wait, I don't
Am I
know.
not supposed to laugh?
Yeah, something like that.
Grandma, help!
But it was fun. Sorry, I'm probably going off on a tangent there, but good point, Mondo.
Yeah. And then what also caught my attention for that Dynamite second point was there wasn't really too much talking. It was more wrestling, but very interesting. MJF versus Mark Briscoe after Mark's match. We had Mark Briscoe calling out MJF for the world title there. So, and then from what was funny is that just kind of went back, skimmed through some of the notes there, and then going online is that MJF appeared, but since they cut to commercial break, he kept on playing his music to antagonize the crowd, which is good heel work in my opinion. And then when we come back, we see him coming out through the crowd or whatnot, if I remember correctly. But from everything, it was Team Briscoe, a group of 6 people, including himself, versus Team MJF. And now the winner of this match, which is going to be part of Forbidden Door, I believe next weekend or in 2 weeks? I believe
2
it's
weeks, the 28th.
28th. Getting my 20s wrong. Uh, but winner of that match, or the stipulation, is that if Mark Briscoe's team wins, he gets a title shot. I'm not sure when, but down the line, he has a guaranteed shot for the AEW World Title, and kind of pissed off MJF there, and he went back to the locker room area. There was another segment where a wad of cash presented to my man Don Callis and the Don Callis family. But then here's like a little caveat: if and if MJF's teams, yeah, I can't even say it, sounding like el ídolo. If MJF team were win, then the Jet Kevin Knight gets a title opportunity. So it's like, you know, I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't, because if Mark wins, he gets a title shot. But if my team wins now, the Jet gets a title shot, which would be on both ends. I like both guys. I know I'm over with Mark Briscoe. So right there, that little dynamic there, that little caveat, that little wrinkle, it's like, damn, what is he gonna do? Is he just gonna say, yeah, okay, the Jet's gonna be part of my team? Because I think it's this Wednesday coming up. They're gonna announce who's in Team Briscoe, who's in Team MJF. So to me, this is really interesting and more of that intriguing storyline telling, because poor MJF, he's caught in between. It's like, I want to save my belt, but then it's like, damn, there's other guys vying for this title. So it keeps it entertaining, keeps it refreshing in my view. So just want to hear your guys' opinion on that whole situation going on with the title. When it's in a cage match too, so that's gonna be fun.
War games. No, just kidding. No, not war
Yeah,
games.
you know what? I thought it was gonna be Blood and Guts. I was like hoping like maybe they can call it Blood and Guts, but no, it's a cage match.
I think it's the phrase that came at me was a catch-22. Like like you said, you're damn if you do, you're damn if you don't. Catch-22. No matter what's gonna happen, MJ is gonna get screwed over no matter what, because obviously he is a champion. He needs to defend the title, and Don Callis is a smart man, as you know, Mondo. Bald is beautiful, smart guys. So he wanted to make sure he had somebody, take advantage of the situation. And so right now he's high on Kevin Knight, but then there's your other boy over there, El Idolo, who just so happens to possibly have lost his title in New Japan, if I'm not mistaken, over the weekend. He's out there too, wanting and salivating for the chance to get that title shot. But I think what's going to happen is, for me, I'm sorry. I keep thinking about it. Anybody with the conglomeration, please. Like, I do not that team, that name with them. I'm like, it doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. I love the guys, but I'm like, they should. I don't know, dude. But I don't want to see them in the 6-man. That's what I'm just gonna say. That's if we get somebody else out there, cool. If they're in it, fuck it, they're in it. But I'm like, it is what it is. I don't know, man. Miguel kind of said it a while back about the conglomeration. One of them, and I'm like, I'm starting to be like, damn it, this guy's right. I'm like, come on, Kyle. Come on, Kyle. Come on, Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, I agree that name is whack, man. I'm gonna be honest. That name is whack, and just like the whole vibe of their group is whack. Now, when you take out my boy Orange Cassidy and he's doing his thing, now my boy got swagger 1,000%. But right now that he's joined the Colgate, I'm like, what are we doing, bro? Your swagger points just went down. I think individually they all do good, but
Yeah.
like you said, this whole conglomeration, I don't even know what it is, man. But this group faction is not it. And the name, come on, man. We need to dumb this down, short it down a little bit, let it roll off the tongue a little bit. Not none of this.
Long. Not just kidding.
Yeah, conglomeration, like.
Oh, you just said it. No, because to me, it sounds like a business. The conglomeration. We're all business. Like I would love to see them in suits and be the bad guys, and we call ourselves. There you go. You're the conglomeration. There you go. But you're just dudes with the backpacks holding the title, the trios title. Like I think that's what it is.
But you see here, you can't just go out and say we're the Super Friends, Tony, because that gimmick's already been taken.
It's been taken. Thank you. You read my mind. Our best friends are the best friends.
See, but the whole backpack thing still. See, if we go back to what I was saying, the whole backpack thing roots back to Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy would always come out with his belt in his backpack, right? So that's not much of like the group didn't come together and say, "Oh, hey, let's just do that." They just pretty much swagger jacked Cassidy.
Yeah, fuck it, let's just do it too.
Yeah, they just jacked his swagger, and then you have Kyle O'Reilly who just looks. Can we talk about the way he comes out and walks and tries to act like my man? Just
because that swagger was when he was with the in the NXT with
Undisputed Era.
Undisputed Era. Thank you. I'm like they came like
Red Dragon 2.
I'm on the electricity like that little kid in Jurassic Park.
You're just being Bubba Ray in 3D when it first came out on WWF there. Stuttering.
Right. So no, I'll just stop.
Yeah, we can move on. This is conglomerations killing our souls right now.
We don't need
Mark Briscoe, we love you. Good luck, buddy.
I love you, Mark. You you're my boy because we the younger brothers of the two.
But he's like bang bang now.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Please don't do bang bang. Don't even bring him in the group. I'm just gonna say this: do not bring Michael Foolish into the group. Then I'm gonna have real problems.
Michael Foolish?
Yeah, that's his name. Michael Foolish.
Oh man.
Well, let's move on to SmackDown there, Tony.
No, hold on, before we go, I just want to say real quick. Sky Blue, love her to death, but goddamn, she lost that match. And I think it was a feel good story.
Yeah,
And unfortunately,
Maya World's
my
brother. Yeah,
correct passed away, and I think this match was dedicated to him. Just to I think just to this call a spade for a spade. It was a good gesture by I believe by AEW and Tony Khan and his team to give Maya World this upset a win against Sky Blue for her brother, and may he rest in peace. Whatever happened to him. But it's a good story to take on into the semifinals, right? Or is it semifinals?
semifinals. Yeah,
Owen Hart
she's facing
Classic.
her teacher Athena. Uh,
So it should be a good match there, and it's hopefully it gives her a boost under these circumstances. But yeah, it was good overall. Dynamite was fun. It was great. Loved it. Enjoyed every single minute of it. And you forgot to talk about your boy, Mondo, your boy coming out taking selfies.
I know, but it might offend someone, so I'm trying to be nice.
But
I'm
no,
trying to be
Leo Rush,
nice.
awesome. He was fun. He was fun. And the cool thing, going back to Orange Cassidy, I don't know if you saw that, where Mr. Andrade like let out his big boy show, took off his pants, and
Yeah,
then
the
that
huge
little
boner, man. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna call it out. Like, I even told my wife because watching. I'm like, hey, look, babe. Nothing against me or looking down there, but when he takes off his pants, there's this huge boner. She's like, "Oh my god, you're right." It's like I just think he likes orange.
well, Orange Cassidy.
Yeah,
I love that spot where he took off his pants and bam, it's
yeah,
another
it's
pair
another
of
pair of
pants.
pants. That was fun. Again,
That was
that
fun. That
match.
was a
If
great
you
match.
guys missed it, go out and watch it. But yeah, there's little things like that. Leo Rush. We're not gonna touch Leo Rush, but yeah, he makes a little cameo appearance there, and yeah, a little back and forth with Orange and El Idolo. But great match, good segments in between there. So yeah,
That was good.
good mention. Good mention. Yes, I did forget about that.
That's good. We'll go down the list here. We'll go before we go into SmackDown, let's get a little bit of Triple A. Let's jump in a little bit of Triple A there, Callie. If you can give us a quick points of what happened, and then again we're looking forward to Triple Mania.
Yeah, so there was 4 matches for AAA this week. We had AAA World Mixed Tag Team Champions Mystery Wana and Lola Vice defeat Joaquin Wild and La Hedra. We also had in a 6-man tag team La Parca, Octagon Jr., Fiscal defeat Los Vipers, which is Obispo Negro, Torres, and Histeria. Then in one of the handicap matches, we had Galeno defeat Golden Jacket and Galileo. This was a 2-on-1 handicap match. The next handicap match was a 3-on-1 handicap match, and this one had the Beast of Almost defeat Chris Carter, Kingu, and Daimo. And so it was a great show this week. Lots of wrestling. Next week we have Rey Mysterio coming through, making an
Yeah,
announcement.
I'm coming back.
And then we also have the return of Dominique Mysterio. So that'll be interesting to see.
Is it just me or when Ray talks, he's like super nervous? He's guys, oh yeah, I'm
I
nervous.
think
I don't know how to do commentary or try to wrestle and sí, pues
I must
hablo en
say
español también.
no, he does sound nervous, but he's doing a good job though.
Yeah, I'm just teasing them. It's just
Speaking of him though, what's interesting is that WWE keeps pushing him in terms of matches, right? Like I know he's signed to a contract and all that, but I guess what I'm trying to ask here to you guys is, where do you guys think kind of what's happening with Rey Mysterio, right? He's getting pushed on SmackDown, like, or on some of these matches, or even some title matches that he's been involved in, but yet he's general manager down here. Do you guys think at some point him or the executives are going to say, I'm probably not going to say one or the other, because let's be real, he's not aging younger, right? You age older, but you think at one point he's just gonna say, "Hey, you know what? Okay, I'm done with this. I'm just gonna focus on GM now," or
100%. I think that's the route that they're doing. Low key, this is like I feel like it's a low key farewell tour
Mm.
of Rey Mysterio, and that's why they're pushing him right now. The explosion of the use of lucha libre from AAA from a WWE standpoint, it just exploded, right? So they want to take advantage, and they want to not my mind keeps thinking exploit, but no, they want to showcase, hey, remember where lucha libre, not that where it came from, but hey, remember the originator, the guy that actually brought lucha libre into the mainstream, back in, when he was in the ECW, back in WCW. Mr. Rey Mysterio Jr. Brought that style, made it more mainstream. Not that he brought it. There was other wrestlers in the past that actually
Yeah, don't
brought
forget La
that.
Parka,
Market
Juventud,
too back in the day. Psychosis back
yeah,
then.
there we go. Super
Yeah,
crazy.
super crazy, and El Juventud Guerrera, Juvi Juice.
Somebody took off his mask though. Who was
Yeah, I don't know, some jabroni name. I don't know.
it?
That was a jabroni name, Juventud. Um, oh, that was Jericho, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Way to go. Yeah, way to catch on quick.
Good answer. Good answer. But I think we're getting to the point now where we're gonna see the last of Rey Mysterio as a performer,
Mhm.
and gonna transition into that general manager role for AAA. And I think, it's good for Ray. It's good for the fans. Good for us, because like I said, we were talking about lucha libre. He was one of those mainstream guys that brought it in and made it more famous. And he'll forever be, that guy. And so I think, we're probably gonna maybe another year and a half of Rey Mysterio, and we're gonna probably call it quits. And I don't know if he's gonna do a mask versus mask, or just kind of retire and just. I don't see him losing it, because the marketing for Rey Mysterio is so freaking huge.
Yeah, you gotta have the
Mhm.
mask on. Don't do what WCW did and pay him so much money where his face is like some little squash little kid, like a little Cabbage Patch kid sucking on a lollipop, which I didn't like. I thought that was kind of dumb, but
Fish
that was
off.
then, But he's gonna say, "I'm gonna fight Dom in AAA for the title because I'm daddy and daddy's coming home," or something to that extent. And yeah, it'll be his farewell tour. I think they're gonna have Dom go over him as a sign of like, hey, a respect.
Yeah.
You're gonna see something where like maybe it might be Dom turning into a bit of a face just for his dad, just for his final match, and I think that'll be very very special for both participants. And I think they're doing it slowly. It's a slow. I want to call it a slow burn, and for his story to come to an end, officially come to a close. And they're doing all the right things, like you guys said. They're pushing him. They're putting him into titles, making him more relevant, and making him say like, "Hey, this is our guy. This is Rey Mysterio. He's still important to us, and he is getting the title shots. He is getting that opportunity." And I feel that it's a good send off for him, whether it be a few months down the road, or like Tony said, like in a year and a half, do the thing full time as a GM in AAA, and we'll see where it goes. But so far, so good. Kudos to WWE, excuse me, to showcase that.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see like what direction, like you said, whether how long it'll be or however more we get Ray. But I just thought it was just interesting that they gave him the GM job. Again, nothing against it. I'm just saying, for him, what a juggling act that must be, full time, because we're seeing it now that there's some shows that he's not I'm not, and also, just because you're a GM doesn't mean you have to be present every show. Let me make that clear. But I think those are the unspoken expectations of wrestling and what it comes with. And so over the course of the past few months, we have seen, although I know that they just recently announced him, we know that he has already been working to that, but he has been on and off of AAA. And so that's why I was saying, I'm just curious how much longer they're gonna still keep doing this juggling act with him, because if if we're gonna give him the send off and be that last push, then I guess let him concentrate on that a bit. But nonetheless, it's not like the product is falling off, right?
Correct.
I was just asking more so to see what you guys thought. So
Oh,
yeah.
it's a good question.
Great. Yeah.
Great question. And just touching on two points that I'm gonna quickly make one of them. One of them might be a little funny and for Armando, but one of the points is that we mentioned Dom, but did you guys hear that his daughter is actually in the performance center as well and training, and so we might see the evolution of another Mysterio coming into the WWE landscape, and so we'll see how that goes. Maybe I don't know. She won't talk like him, Mondo.
All
So
nervous, and maybe Ricky Saints won't look up her dress.
so
Well,
we'll see.
just he did that to the Rock Star. It's like, hey, look at that.
Yeah, but and then lastly, Rey Mysterio, great guy, but I think my brother will always remember him by maybe two spots. One of them being in WCW when Kevin Nash threw him against the wall. Yeah. See, look at him there.
Oh, yeah,
long dart. And speaking of, I think we were there. Were we there live, Mondo, when Brock Lesnar grabbed the Brock Lesnar? Oh, was it Big Show?
Big Show.
Was it Big Show that grabbed him and then kind of like swung him against the ring post when he was like, see, I told you.
I can remember it in my mind. Hold on, guys.
I mean, it's funny to us because it's so funny to us, but funny to more to Manda. But Rey Mysterio took one of the stupidest, weirdest bumps I've ever seen, where he was laid on that stretcher and Big Show like hurled him, hit him against the post, and the homeboy landed head first. And really planked out there. So, but yeah,
and you can't even do nothing about it. So that's the worst part.
Poor guy. So, but yeah, just I guess once he retires, Mondo will probably remember those two things.
Actually, Rey Mysterio, if you ever watching this and you hear this, I need you to answer me this question. When the homie Big Show smacked you up against that and your head hit the ground, did you black out for a second or not? I need you to answer that for me, because that's going to make this story 10 times funnier. Because if you did, you're just going to open a whole can of worms of how people view exactly what happened with that. Because
we love you, Ray.
Yeah, we love you, but it's just that watching that back, it was just funny.
We might have to add him onto the hashtag Rey Mysterio on there, or add him. Come at him later on. So Mondo, clip that shit. You got this.
Hey, that was true though. Those two bumps that he took, that pole bump when he was on the
that little gurney stretcher thing.
On the gurney stretcher thing, but then the one that Kevin Nash did to him, like how did he even walk up from that?
Don't tell me. It was everybody got beat up. The Four Horsemen, he did. I don't know. I mean, I think Kevin Nash would have picked him up again and threw him against the board. But that was at the time we're like, what the hell? No way! And then obviously people actually, if you haven't heard or didn't know, people actually called the police because they thought people were brawling back there and taking over. So kudos, what the believability of the NWO and what they were doing back in the day. That was interesting, where people actually called it. Bam. Anyway, but yeah, sorry, had to go off on a quick tangent down memory lane for my boy over here on my left. Yeah, Mysterio, we love you, bro. We respect you. We love you. We love what you're doing in AAA and what you're going to be doing right now. Mad props to you and your career, and keep it going. And more to come, and hopefully we see you at Triple Mania.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see you at Triple
and maybe
Mania.
We can cut bread, so to speak, with a tecate or whatever they have there.
Actually, and now that we're talking about it, and I'm sure we can probably go off on it, but just real quick, who or what? I know nothing has really been said or what's going to go on, but what are you guys looking forward to Triple Mania?
Great question there. I'm looking forward if we can see La Catalina, and been following her on IG for a while. I want to see her live. She was in NXT for a brief stint, went to CMLL, and now she's in AAA. So hey, it's coming full circle. Most of these women and men, they they see that their dream is, just like everybody else. I'm pretty sure we grew up with that mentality, thinking like, hey, we can be the next wrestlers. And, we want to main event the WrestleMania there, or just have our WrestleMania moment. And no better time than now for her to flourish and showcase herself. And hopefully she does show up, and that'll make my night. I'm gonna be honest. That'll make my night.
It was kind of weird, but not that it's weird. There's a couple of plethora of people I do want to see. One, Las Toxicas. I kind of want to see them out there, having a battle out there. Come on, man, Las Toxicas. You can't beat that. I do want to see La Parca, dude. I want to. You saw start dancing out there and whatnot. I want to, really. Anyway, La Parca is one, and then obviously Mr. Iguana's cool. We got La Yesca out there, so I know, Kelly, you're gonna probably have La Yesca right here on your shoulder.
I'll definitely be having the homie La Yesca on me.
And then lastly, I think Dominic, will probably bring down the house there. Solid night of lucha libre, but one thing I do want to see there, if and I'm pretty sure they might do this. They do it for WrestleMania, and I want to see it happen for Triple Mania, is having those meet and greets. If they can get there, I think we're planning to get there on the Friday, or that Friday and early, but like if we can get there a little early enough so that way we can take pictures or hang out for like a minute and be like, hey man, I appreciate what you've done. That'd be really cool. That'd be amazing if we could have at least a picture with one of the wrestlers. I think that'd be cool because they're put on this platform for us as American wrestling fans, and now they're being showcased now, thanks to the WWE. I mean, again, nothing taken away that what they've done so far, but AAA has done a lot. Like including like CMLL, and what they did with doing international branding and whatnot. And this, I think they have to take advantage of Triple Mania and what the WWE is doing with it, and hopefully we can partake in having a couple of pictures here and there and be like, hey, we were rooting for you guys. But yeah, I have a lot there that I unloaded for Triple Mania that I do want to do and see and experience. I'm just hyped. I got my days off approved. So yeah, I'm good to go and come back Saturday after a long amazing Friday. But I'm looking forward to it. I am excited, and I just can't wait. This is gonna be cool. I'm not trying to overhype it too much, just because we know lucha libre, it's gonna be fun. We just think we're just gonna have an amazing time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking overall forward, just to, like you said, the whole vibe overall, just because I've never been to another promotion outside of any American promotions. Now, I've been to indie promotions, big promotions, but never nothing outside of an American promotion. And so I'm super excited to see another promotion come in and starting to take over. And so I'm looking everything you guys named. I'm excited for all of it. I can't wait. But I do want to mention one thing before we pass it on again. I want to say something that's very interesting about AAA that I think I leave maybe you guys, our listeners, our viewers, anyone who is into wrestling to think about this. I think what's very interesting about AAA right now is that we only get 1 hour a week, and that is it. Every single week, we know that we're going to expect 1 hour of lucha libre, and that is it. You know, meanwhile, we get 2 hours of SmackDown, 2 hours of Raw, 2 hours of uh well, three of SmackDown, excuse me. Okay, NXT gets 2 hours. Evolve
Oh no,
gets
Raw.
Oh, Raw. Well,
Yeah, it's
okay,
like
backwards. Well, 3-2, but so NXT gets 2 hours. Uh, WWE Evolve gets, I think, 2 hours on Tubi, and then LFG gets 2 hours on A&E. And then, am I missing another thing? So let's just see. 3, 2, that's 5, plus another 2, that's 7, plus another 2, that's 9. So let's just say for now, these guys have 9 hours of live television, and they're not delivering not nearly half of what AAA is doing in 1 hour a week. So I'm interested to see what's going to happen with that, because are they going to keep that format in AAA? Are they going to start extending it for 2 hours, maybe two shows, or are they going to keep it the way it has always been? So that was just something I want to for y'all to think about and say, that's kind of interesting, because I find it very interesting that there's 9+ hours of national television that WWE gets, and here we are back and forth every week, sometimes saying, this show was good, this week was not good, this show was good, but then the relevant story for AAA is, oh, we want more, or oh man, we're excited. And you see what I'm saying? With only 1 hour, I just think what AAA is doing is amazing. So big ups to AAA. I'm excited for Triple Mania. Let's go, baby.
No, that's a good point. So for all the listeners out there, leave your comments out there, and that's your the hot take from the California Rattlesnake. If you agree with them, should AAA expand? Should they do 2 hours? Should they maybe go on to maybe what Netflix? I don't know. We're getting for free right now.
Might that be now that I haven't even thought about that. Might that be the next step that TKO does with AAA? And it's like, hey, you know what? Boom, you guys now are on Netflix. Because if now you are now on Netflix, excuse me, right? So now you are on there. What do you think that's gonna do to that brand? Right? Everyone knows WWE. Let's just kind of like put that in the back for a second. Let's talk about AAA and the brand. What does it do to that? I mean, it's already one of the biggest one in Mexico, and it's already taking the storm here in America. But could you imagine, like you said, if they sign a deal with Netflix, or TKO includes them in that Netflix deal? It's gonna get crazy, man.
Yeah, more exposure. That's what you want to have. So more eyes on the product. But like you
That'll be
said,
a
like
topic of another conversation when they come up to the main roster. But
yeah,
I got my opinions on that.
they just got to deliver. Like you said, if they can deliver in 1 hour, they got to make sure they can deliver in two. And I think that's one. We don't want to go off on a tangent, but I think that's what they expect out of WWE. And how we're like, yeah, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's a good topic for another day. But that's a good point, and I am very very happy that you brought up those points. So, audience out there, whatever you guys think, let us know. Should AAA get it to 2 hours, or stay in one? So
Let us know.
let us know.
But
Speaking of
yeah,
me,
then we'll turn it back to you over for Smack, or what is it?
yep,
Yeah, SmackDown.
SmackDown,
2 hours.
SmackDown. We
Or is it
got
three?
5 matches. I'm so sorry, here on SmackDown this week. Ooh, one more than Raw. Wow. Charlotte Flair versus Lyra Valkyria versus Sol Ruka versus Jade Cargill. Flair came out with the win there for the women's side of the Queen of the Ring qualifier match. I wrote down here it's the wig match. If you don't know, you gotta want to see that. But we'll move on, and we'll probably talk about that real quick. But we had a non-title match between Paige and Brie Bella versus Lainey Reed and Fallon Henley. We had Paige and Brie Bella take the win there.
By the way, Fallon is beautiful.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, she is very beautiful.
We might need to talk about that in a second too. Ray Phoenix and Axiom versus Axiom. Ray Phoenix comes out on top there. Another solid match. And then we had we had a tag team match between Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green versus B-Fab and Michin. Michin and B-Fab came out on top there. I don't know how, but they did. Jay Uso, LA Knight, Royce Keys, and Finn Balor, they had their quarter-final match, qualifier match for the King of the Ring. And we saw Jay Uso walk away with the win there. Hot takes from let's do the biggest take right now, and we'll probably crap all over it for a minute. But Jay Uso comes out on top there. I get the storyline of the bloodline. I get it, but you're talking about Finn Balor. You're talking about somebody who just got traded, and you're trying to push. You're talking about Royce Keys, a brand new talent that you just got into your roster and he's taking L's. And LA Knight, who just is pretty much L at the moment, is taking losses left and right. And I really think that they're dropping the ball with these three guys. I if you saw the crowd reaction, I get it. The crowd loved it because he was being Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, who is eating, but he's Jey Uso of the bloodline. There's a difference between the two, I think, and the way they're doing the presentation for him. And I get it. He's Jey Uso, the bloodline guy right now, but then they're presenting him still as main event Jey Uso, the crowd loving guy who comes out and yeets with everybody. And I get it. Everybody loves the yeeting part. But I really think it was the bad decision there. I think they could have gone with either Finn Balor or Royce Keys there. LA Knight's been talking it up for a long time, and then he didn't deliver. So he's still chasing, and I hopefully Money in the Bank comes around where he gets the Money in the Bank. Hopefully, LA Knight picks that up. But I don't know. That just it rubbed me the wrong way, and I think it rubbed everybody here the wrong way too. So, Callie, did you like that decision?
Listen, Oos, you just said everything that my mind wanted to say. It's nothing against Jey Uso. My man's killing it, doing his thing. I think he's playing, or not he's playing, but he's supposed to be playing two different characters. His main event, Jey Uso, and then Jey Uso Bloodline, Jey Uso. So I think that's where the WWE is kind of dropping the ball, and they don't know what to do with him exactly, or how to really market him in terms of when to market him the right way. But I want to focus on the other three, exactly like you said. Number one, Finn Balor. This guy's at the prime of his physical um life right now. Push him. You know what I mean? Push him. He can wrestle, he can talk. Crowd loves him. Figure something out for him. Don't put him in these BS matches and then you're gonna push someone else over. Same thing with Royce. You brought him into the WWE, and what are we doing with him? We're just handing him straight losses. Is this the Mark Davis of AEW? Mark Davis at least has a title, but he comes in and starts losing. Okay, that's number one. Number three, I feel bad for LA Knight. I really do, because he should have been over about 2 years ago, 3 years ago, and WWE has dropped the ball. So with him, it's not so much a LA Knight problem. It really is more of a AEW, I mean a WWE problem, where they just truly don't know what to do with him, because how you gonna push him when you're trying to push 50 other people right now? It's just not gonna work, And again, his window of the crowd loving him at his peak, I think it's done, or you come up with something else. But I think in terms of him, this is his character. LA Knight was his character. And for WWE to drop the ball like that a few years back and give other people pushes, like LA Knight had the crowd like that at the palm of his hands, man. And
Still does. He still does. But that loss is just you're losing momentum.
heavy momentum.
Hate to, be the bearer of bad news, like someone used to say over there in WWE and NXT, leader of the Nexus. Bad news, Barrett. If you're not an Oos, or I'm gonna go that route. I'm sorry, but if you're not part of their little family BS tree, then they're not gonna push you. Balor, NXT did amazing things. Gets a push, gets a title. After that, they bury the guy. For some reason, WWE has a track record of, if we didn't build you, we're gonna bury you. You don't play by our rules? Sorry, but you're not it. These guys are doing so much to get themselves over, and like you guys said, they're already over. They already got the experience. It's just you got this people who are trying to take over WWE, and they have, because they're the only ones they want to talk about. And I'm gonna go like this from day one. Stupid tagline, by the way, because they were being forced down everybody's throat with their tag team division, and it was just like, dude, these guys are like, I don't know. For me, it was just, you can go back in the early days for both Jimmy and Jay. They had okay matches, but nothing to talk about. Oh, our main event, Jay Uso. What main events have you headlined so far? Oh, wait, just this one for SmackDown? You should be in the main event all the time. Why are we getting confused? Oh, you're the fun-loving one. Ooh, yay! But yet you're giving Jacob Fatu a hard time trying to be the big boss, the second in command. I don't buy it, man. Jacob doesn't buy it. So either you pick a character, we've been talking about like this even with AEW. Pick a character, man. You know, Kevin Knight
Give
got a
him a suit.
mouthpiece.
Give him that ninja suit.
Yeah, or the karate suit with Mike Bailey, Heaven forbid I go out and buy one, because I liked it so much. But for Jay, it's like, bro, let's figure something out. Like you guys said, like, are you gonna be the Yeet boy, or are you gonna be the second in command in the bloodline with Jimmy, Jacob, and Roman? Right now, to me, you look like a clown, and you don't deserve that spot. I'm sorry to say. Should have gone to LA Knight, being defiant. He's been defiant since day one, like going after everything. But they dropped the ball. So let me talk to you. This is what I was hoping for, because he has a similar voice as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
He really
can
does,
totally
man.
mess with the bloodline.
His
giving them a
cadence,
call
too.
like, hey, it's The Rock. I need you guys. And then they do something weird like backstage segments like, hey, we were called over here, and then they can bring in The Rock, kind of, get him more involved. But you see, again, we're not thinking, because we're going to be pushing some guy who's not part of this bloodline, this heritage. Ooh, we're not going to push you. Roman, you fought your cousin, brother, whatever the hell. Oh, but I had a great match with him. You can do that with somebody else, but you choose not to. I wonder why.
I see that I agree with.
And then we got Royce Keys, who's friends with Jacob, but now he's like in the back burner. Like, you're threatening this dude. Come on, let's build up Royce Keys, get him some wins, and have him have Jacob's back. Oh, wait a minute. No, he can't do that. He's not Samoan. Can't have that. Don't know how it's going to work. TK doesn't know how to do anything. Or WWE Creative, like, nope, can't have that. Not Samoan. Can't have that. Bullet Club leader versus his, meeting his ex Bullet Club member, Tama Tonga. Finn Balor walks in. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you.
I really don't give a
Yeah. And then you like Tony said, you have this guy who just got traded to SmackDown, and this is how you introduce him? Come on, man. This guy is the leader of the Bullet Club, alongside with Tama Tonga, former Good Brothers that were there, Carl Anderson. And this is how you do this? This is how you do this guy? Come on now, guys. At least build some momentum for these other wrestlers that are there that can challenge Roman Reigns. Let's not have another Jacob versus Roman 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's like we're running out of Rocky movies, guys. Even Rocky said, hey, I got to tone it down a bit,
Why do you look like De Niro?
I'm sorry, I got them mixed up. Hey, oh. Stop. But yeah, I see that, SmackDown fun, SmackDown bad, because I felt like Jay should not have won that. Yes, he's over with the crowd, but come on. The crowd wants new people. They want new blood. We want new blood. Because what are you going to give us?
Hate for blood.
Yeah, what are you going to give us later down the road? Oh, Jay versus, and then he's going to lay down. We're going to have the 2.0, Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan. But regardless, I'm just going to go back to, I'm ranting now, but just going back to the Charlotte Flair and her win with that unassisted figure eight. Like her leg was out, and kudos to whoever she had in the leg lock. Was it
Lyra.
Lyra Valkyria, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she just stayed there with it, and you can see her Charlotte. I don't know. I'm sorry, but Charlotte, you're overrated. I'm gonna say that now, and yeah, people are gonna hate me. You can comment down below, but you're overrated. It should have gone to Lyra or even Sol Ruka. But yeah, I just thought not Jade. Jade needs a lot of work. Needs to keep that wig on. Should have gone to those two other ladies. But yeah, it was an entertaining SmackDown. Just the end left a bad taste in my mouth, and I kind of threw up a little bit.
That Charlotte Flair match. I think I mentioned that both Lyra Valkyria and Sol Ruka had that match on Monday Night Raw, and for them to travel back to the States and then get into this 4-way match speaks a lot to them. And then I thought Sol Ruka had it when she hit the that cutter that she has, and I thought she was going to win it. But obviously, Charlotte Flair took advantage of it, and the wig match there. So I poor Jade Cargill, like she tweeted herself that she survived that was her worst, her biggest fear in the world happened, but the wig survived. So it's crazy, but you could obviously tell, and we saw the videos. You guys out there probably seen the videos, and her thing came off. Oh, I'm good. But I mean, there is a club out there. Mondo's a part of it, and the beautiful bald people group. But she did have hair. We did see that in a split second. I know Callie and I, we kind of sent the same video to each other at the same time when it happened. We're like, oh, hey, I just sent you this. That was a interesting viral moment, but nothing to be ashamed of. You're a beautiful woman no matter what. So, but yeah, it was a good SmackDown. Last takeaway there for me, at least two before we leave SmackDown. Again, Lucha Libre, great. Rey Fenix, Axiom, amazing match. They put on a great performance there. And kudos to Axiom, who we need to see that a little bit more often. We need to see Rey Fenix again now. So he got that AAA title. Let's push him. Let's get him out there. Penta's kicking ass in Raw. Let's have Rey Fenix kick ass in SmackDown. So hopefully both Lucha Brothers eventually, kind of meet up with each other later down the road. And we'll give them a shot together as a tag team. But Axiom, kudos to him, because that was a really good performance.
He's beast, man. Axiom's beast.
Hell of a match.
And then before we go into AEW, and lastly, bid farewell to WWE this week, but Danhausen, you bastard, you uncursed the Knicks, and because of you, they became the 2026 NBA champions. They went on an incredible run. I think they only lost one time after he uncursed them. And so kudos to Danhausen, kudos to uncursing the Knicks who became the champion. Danhausen is the man. Mondo knew he was the man in AEW, but he just jumped up to a whole new different level.
Better fit in WWE, that's for sure. That's hell of a signing for WWE.
Like Callie said, you are cursed, and he uncursed them. And then
he cursed the city though. It backfired.
I think what is it? Matt Cardona donated his watch to make sure that the Knicks still won. So I think Matt Cardona is somewhere out there trying to get his watch back. But hey, congratulations, kudos to the Knicks, and to our boy Danhausen for doing what he does best in cursing and uncursing the Knicks. So, but that's all I got. I mean, nothing But that was a fun little rant about Danhausen. But kudos to him. That's it for SmackDown, I guess, for now. We'll talk about Cody in next week's show. He's got a big match coming up. And there's a lot riding now, especially with the special guest referee. They have a big
My
card.
boy, Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn. That's Miguel's ultimate
Nemesis.
wrestler at the moment. I hate him. What are we doing with this guy? Come on. All right, well, let's go on to Collision.
All right, there we go. AEW's Collision, which was since this recording was last night. We saw Kenny Omega defeating Bad Dude Tito. Work on the name there, Bad Dude. We got Shida defeating Zeta Steel, excuse me, with Christopher Daniels. Shida, big ups, good job there. We got the Rascals, Zachary. Damn, I couldn't write that any better on my notes, so I apologize. And Desmond from Rascals defeating Aaron Atlas and Austin Atlas. Fun little tag match there. And then we had the Jet, the one you look up to, with Don Callis defeating. Damn, again, I am so sorry, Rascals. I wrote your names a little too faster because I wanted to watch the match. But Myrod Reed from the Rascals. We'll talk about that match because that match was just wow.
Yeah, that was a great
hands
match.
down. Yeah, for me that was like one of the matches of the night there. And then we had Athena defeating Tiara James. Tony, your favorite tag team, the Dogs defeating our boys, the Young Bucks from Rancho Cucamonga. I don't know how that happened, but it happened. Yep. Persephone defeating Julia Hart, which was another fun match there for the women division.
You're on my left. My bad.
Yeah, there we go. Oh wait, yeah.
There you go.
Left, right, left, and then Jake Doyle.
Start.
God, Jake Doyle. Like, I don't know. Some of these names they just like. With the Jet defeat Mike Bailey. I keep picturing
Generic
the damn
guy.
karate suit. Sorry. And then we had the street fight with the Death Riders defeating STP, Shane Taylor Promotions. Again, match of the night. Big takeaway was Kevin Knight versus Myrod Reed from the Rascals. And that street fight was just, wow. Like you said, Tony, they know how to make fun matches. And especially for this one, for the street fight, Death Riders, STP. I mean, it was a 2.5 hour show. It caught me off guard because I was thinking just, standard Collision, Again, just very busy for me, adulting and taking care of some things. And then when I was watching that, I was like,
Summer
2.5
blockbusters.
hours. Yeah, I was like, okay, where's my popcorn? Which I forgot to get in the store. Darn it. But yeah, big takeaways from this. Just an amazing match with the Jet Kevin Knight. Those two cutters. Yeah. Oh my God. Back to back.
Earlier.
Yeah. And man, I felt like when Don Callis was on the commentary table there with them, I think his dentures kept falling off and he just sounded muffled, right? And then he just stayed quiet. I think he was just trying to fix them, like, because he was quiet for like half the match, and I'm just like thinking, damn, dude, you need some dentures, some super glue or something, or some implant bridge. That way it doesn't happen. But hell of a match. And then again, the street fight there, we can talk about the street fight a little bit later, but what was your guys' take with that Kevin Knight match with Myrod Reed from the Rascals? Callie?
I liked it. It was a fun match, like you said. I just think overall, not only was that, but I just think overall, like you keep mentioning, keep hitting my heart. I just think AEW is just the way they just go on, and then it's just match after match after match after match after match. You know what I'm saying? Like I just love what they're doing with that, and every single match is always entertaining or it's interesting. Even the squash matches, like Tony was saying or alluding to earlier, in terms of Divine Dominion, yeah, they might be 5 minute matches, but nonetheless, they make it entertaining. They're not always 1 minute or quick. We've seen it on multiple times, but definitely, I thought definitely the Kevin Knight match was a fun one. It's kind of cool to see this evolution of his, because he was babyface-ish, but didn't really know what to do with this babyface-ish. And now that he's kind of been taking the reins under Don Callis, we're now starting to see a little bit more refined Kevin Knight. But yeah, it was fun.
Like Tony said, we called it, and look at the results, right, Tony?
Yeah.
Yep, and let's. I mean, going back to the two cutters, I just one from the ramp going over the top rope in the middle of the ring, and then from there from the top of the, I think he on the apron
Apron
or was, and
going
then
to
he
the
just
outside.
he went outside, right, and
Mhm.
onto the floor.
Yeah.
That's like 10, almost like 5-7 feet, like onto the floor. All I kept thinking about was like, damn, these are young talent, and I kept thinking about Randy Orton,
Hmm.
how he messed up his back doing the RKOs, because that's what it is, a cutter. It's an RKO, or
Diamond
RKO.
cutter.
It's a cutter, or Diamond Dallas Page's diamond cutter, variation. But like they're coming up, like Javon Evans. He is like coming out there. Sol Ruka too, when she does her move as well. Those are very innovative moves, and variations of the cutter. And I kept thinking like, man, hopefully this guy doesn't mess up his back. Which psychologically they used it in the right near the end of the match, where I
Mhm.
think he was trying to pick up Kevin Knight, and then
That
his
that
back was very.
suplex. It was right before that. I think Kevin Knight was on the second rope trying to suplex him in. He does like an invert, gets him like
Oh
on top, yeah, and that's when the two sequences happened. Even
yeah,
Shivani like marked out on that one. Poor Tony in that collision episode.
but it was a really good match. I enjoyed it. Yeah, you're right. I think that was the match of the night. And then I think the main event was the second match of the night. And then we could probably get into that in a little bit, but that was my 2 cents right there. I think they did a really great job. Athleticism off the charts. And those two cutters were, I think, the highlight of that match there. I loved it.
And then before we get to the main event, I think Callie called this one too, where he said, let's have a guy like Ricochet go after a title. And he did mention Ricochet versus Takeshita. And bam, what do we have? Him cutting a promo. Aha! Going after the title that Takeshi's currently holding. Callie, what's
Mhm.
your take on that?
No, like I said, I'm super excited to see that because now we're starting to get into you're putting two different styles of wrestling together, but I think it might work. Not only the the in-ring ability, but also just outside the ability, right? You have someone who's very outspoken, very annoying, very in your face, and then you have Takeshita who's just rock solid, doesn't take no crap, almost serious, stone face, like come at me. And so I just think um I just think feeding into that, I can't wait to see where exactly we go with that. Takeshita brings he brings that New Japan kind of style, that New Japan, not even like style, but attitude. He brings that attitude. Like I said, that stone face, that kind of um I'm serious, but I'm gonna mess you up type style. And so super super excited for that.
Me too. Stone face me. Stone Pitbull from the
Because it is true. Well, yeah,
conglomeration.
that's all I was gonna say. Stone Pimple. Now that I think about it. Him too, though. But you see similarities,
Yeah,
in the way even the way he acts, the way he talks, and even walks, and even in some of the promos that he's been involved in, like he's just serious as hell, man. And like when you mix that with someone who's just in your face all the time, it's like that's gonna be great.
there we go. Tony?
I was just gonna say. I mean, we're gonna move on to. Oh well, no, let's not move on yet. Yeah, I mean, you called it. You guys, I know, Mother, you've been high on Ricochet, and I know your
For a while.
sister-in-law loves Ricochet. Ever since, I think, from his days in NXT and WWE. So,
PWG,
um,
baby, remember?
yeah, and we saw him at PWG back in the day before everything blew up. But it's good to see when he left. There was a lot of negativity in the way his ability is when he cuts promos. Triple H was very famous in terms of making that interview about like, yeah, he was good, but he wasn't really doing the promos correctly, or he wasn't good at talking. give everybody a chance. Give him, you know, if you want to bring him back down to NXT or whatever, or give him some lessons, give him lessons, but don't give up on the guy because he can't cut a promo. I get it. Promos are what, you know, helps push a story, but you know, Ricochet, ever since he came in, you know, now he found his niche. He found himself being that annoying guy now because you know he was always been a babyface because of his athletic ability and the way he presented himself. He was literally a superhero in WWE. Now he's opposite of what he was, and he's just, I think, being himself, and being freely himself, and you know, and he's tapping into that annoyance of who he is. And there you go, and here, I can't even say it. Mom does it better than me. And you know, there you go. And you know, it's good to see him evolve into this character and finally, you know, saying, hey, I want a title shot. And like you know, Callie, you said it, and here we are. So it's kind of fun being a fantasy booker when you finally see something actually happen, or kind of like, hey, we wish this would happen, and you're like, holy crap, it's happening, albeit maybe a week or two later, but still it's happening.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Main event, guys. Death Riders, STP. Wow. Oof. Very fun. Very
You're thinking about her
entertaining.
feet, huh? You feet
Yeah, I'm
guy?
thinking about the feet because I don't have any shoes on right now. You want me to put it on the camera? No. But I was like, how do you even train yourself to just take those thumbtacks on the feet? And then with the what was it, broken glass or whatnot
Yeah,
there?
broken glass and some army action
Ooh,
figure guys.
just ouch. That spot like is just there. I'm just thinking poor Marina Shafir, you know, it's like last week or was it Wednesday, she takes like a nasty kendo stick to the knee. That looked really
Oh
brutal.
yeah.
And now through going through this fun match again, just they know how to do things when it's either multi-man, multi-person
He was about
tag
to do it too.
matches.
He was
Yeah.
gonna do it. I was like, come on, do it. I don't think about was Miguel. I'm like, come on, he's gonna do it, but he didn't. He didn't
He
bust
did.
it out.
So
He's gonna
what
keep
was your
teasing.
guys' takeaway from that main event there?
Yeah, the stepping on the glass and shards and tacks, that was kind of rough to watch, man. I'm not gonna lie. I turned away. I was like, fuck, man. I was like, it's just I can't even walk barefoot on flat ground.
Oh, gotta have your sandals.
I have to have them on. So could you imagine that kind of shit?
Mm. No, it's happened to me where I think I woke up in the middle of the night. Remember, Tony?
Oh yeah, it was an earthquake. We had an earthquake.
We had an earthquake. I woke up and I
You
think,
stepped on glass.
yeah, I stepped on glass and I didn't even notice. I just felt like my left, was it my left or my right? Well, one of the two. I
I
go
don't
to the
recall.
bathroom because I had to go take a leak, and I just feel like one of my feet. I'm like, wow, it's really cold. Like, holy crap. So I come back, you know, I go to bed. I think we were moving at this point to a different apartment. So we're sleeping on the floor. I think it was like our last night. And I just felt this cold, like, you know, when you cut something open, like when you have a wound, you know, you feel that sensation. I'm like, what's wrong with my foot? I thought nothing of it, but then, like in the morning, I think we hear our dad like, "What?" You know, like "get chingados!" Like there was like a trail of blood from my foot going to and from the bathroom and back to the freaking sleeping area where we're sleeping in our duffel bags. And yeah, that oof.
Yeah, you had an open
I had an
gash.
open gash, man. I had an open wound. It was like really terrible, but I just slept through it, and there was like all this blood next to my foot. I'm glad I didn't lose it or anything bad come from it, but man, it's not a happy feeling. Well, I didn't feel it. I was still sleepy, but yeah, waking up to the blood and everything else, and dad yelling at me. That's totally different.
Well, I
But
mean, how would we wouldn't know?
yeah,
It was
we
the
wouldn't
middle
know,
of the night.
but still, it's like it's blood. Don't overreact like that.
You're dying.
Yeah. Who can see in the
Uh,
dark? There was no lights. We didn't, you know.
Three things I'm gonna probably talk about. Besides we already touched upon her feet. You
Foot
sickos.
fetish.
Uh, three things. Pac, like, dude. He fought on Dynamite, I believe, right? He fought on
Yep.
Dynamite, and then obviously he fought here on Collision. That dude, I don't know. It's when I look at him, it was like this big fucking like strong muscular motherfucker. Well, sorry. Sorry, we have kids on this. Strong muscular dude, but he's able to maneuver and do all these like light heavyweight like moves. And I'm like, how is this guy able to move around? And he's like super bulky. Cause I mean, this guy is jacked up. I'm like, I don't know how this bastard, because that's he goes by the bastard Pac, is able to move around. And I'm like, holy crap. That was my take. I'm like, all right, cool. But he's because he's a great athlete. Two, Claudio, strong mother effort, because he came in with a wrestling mask and he started beating the crap out of everybody. I think at one point, I think he wanted to swing Shane Taylor, but that didn't happen. I'm pretty sure he could have. I don't know why Norbit kind of got in my head for a second, but I'm flying. But anyway, uh, but Claudio was very stupid strong, and I think he went in through the table with Moriarty out there at the ring, um, by the announcers out there, and he was laid out. And then I don't know if you saw this, guys. I don't know if it was just me, but it looks like Moxley had like an X on the floor, and he just sat there and just enjoyed the match while he was bleeding. They panned to him for a second, and he was just chilling, looking at the match. And I'm like, dude, is this guy ever gonna get up? Because obviously you got to do your spots, and this was just.
That was probably his spot.
Yeah, he's just probably waiting for somebody to deck him.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you guys saw that. He was just.
I think I missed that, but yeah, he was just kind of like.
In the corner, he was just chilling. I'm like, nobody's gonna tell him to get up. When is this cue? Where's the script? He's gonna be like, "Hey, Moxley gets up at 37 minutes." I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I found that kind of funny. I don't know if you guys saw that too.
No, he's having a lot of fun out there. I think that just proves like John Moxley as versus Dean Ambrose in WWE. He wasn't having too much fun, but now that he's in AEW, it just looks like he's himself again, and he's enjoying the business. So there's times, you're right, where he's like, no, what? You good?
No.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I'm like, wait, what? Did I say something wrong? No, it was just him watching him progress with AEW, just like his love for the business, his love for wrestling again. And now he's at a point where it's like, I can actually, take a little load off. I can be a little bit silly. I can be a little aggressive. But it just seems like he's just living his best life as John Moxley in AEW. So he's just doing these things. And you're right, there's other matches where it's like you just see him and he's just like, his facial expression says it all. It's like okay, cool, let's just do it. Like he's just having a great time out there, and just again, just those type of things. It's just him really enjoying the craft. And again, it's just a lot of people are going to him, picking his brain. And he's just one of those mainstays now, and hopefully we get to see more of that and we can point it out. But yeah, Mox is in a league of his own, so to speak. So kudos to him, and just developing that over the years. But yeah, there's just some times where it's like, is he being real right there? Just kind of like nonchalantly like giving an F. But that's Mox for you.
Just chilling out there. But I mean, the Death Riders, they were the main attraction, I think, overall this week for AEW, from Dynamite to Collision. I think they had back-to-back matches on Dynamite, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, right? I think they had one back-to-back matches.
Let's see here. Let's go back. Yeah,
because that's what happened,
Mox,
right? Shane Taylor
defeats Shane Taylor. Then it was Briscoe defeating Pac. So 1-for-1.
Yeah, right. Well, at least. Group. Yeah, right. Because at least Death Riders were being mentioned a lot, and then this led up to that main event, which is really cool. And you, Miguel, you mentioned it, that where every match is being showcased, and I was like, man, it doesn't matter if they're like super stars, super big stars, but they're wrestlers and they have their own niche. And I loved seeing the differences and the varieties in the matches between Dynamite and Collision, and seeing people we may not see regularly come out, and now we're starting to see them now more regularly. The Shane Taylor promotion is one that I thought was like, wow, I didn't really like buy into them, but now I'm like, all right, cool. These are all right. These I like the Shane Taylor promotions. They're pretty cool. But I love seeing the new talent that they have, and they're showcasing them the way I think Miguel was saying it, and I think they're doing a really good job. And AEW is pushing the limits, and competition is good. And hopefully, again, we're seeing both entities doing a crazy job, pushing their product.
True.
Agreed. Excellence breeds, or was it competition breeds excellence?
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
I said it backwards almost there.
That was in the back of my mind, but thank you for saying that. But yeah, I think that's what it is overall. But kudos to both AEW and WWE and AAA for putting on some really good shows. Going into the new week, I think we're seeing a big card already announced for a Dynamite, leading up to Forbidden Door. And then I think we're seeing some big matches for SmackDown already being announced before they get into Crown Jewel. I think it is.
I think so.
No, Night of Champions. I'm sorry.
Night of Champions.
But
it's still over there, or
I think it's still out there in Saudi Arabia, I believe. And then Monday Night Raw is going to come out tomorrow as of this recording. So I'm looking forward to even AAA. Like Miguel mentioned it, we got big announcements happening. I'm hoping it's for Triple Mania. Maybe they'll announce the main event for Triple Mania, or maybe
something.
Or
something.
Yeah, so looking forward to that. So it's gonna be a great week of wrestling. So what are you guys looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to that Rey Mysterio announcement as well. I'm just curious to see if we're gonna get anything towards Triple Mania, whether it's matches or any little details. Like you said, maybe a meet and greet. Hey, are they gonna announce a pop-up show like they did for WrestleMania? Start giving us a little bit of something.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm looking forward to. And again, as always, just looking forward to some great wrestling.
What I'm looking forward to is my team, the Mark Briscoe team versus MJF. And yes, I hope it's not the conglomeration either, because they were talking about that on Collision. It's like, if we get picked, we get picked. But if we don't, let's not take it personal. And that came from Kyle O'Reilly. See, even he knows that they're not liked. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. The go home episode for Forbidden Door. So looking forward to that. And yes, hopefully, we see Rey Mysterio announce that he's gonna fight Dominic Mysterio for that AAA World Heavyweight. Oh God, that hurts. Championship title. Ah, crap. Sorry, Ray. I don't know how you do it. But yeah, great time to be a wrestling fan. Announcements after announcements, surprises after surprises. But yeah, hopefully, let's build upon Triple Mania, right?
Yep.
Okay. For September, go home show for AEW. Hopefully they put a more of a stacked card. We know a couple of matches, so very excited to see where it leads to. But yeah, this week full of fun.
Yeah, it should be good. And then hopefully we we'll talk about maybe adding another person next week. Hopefully we can do something like that, since we got GCW coming up, and then we can talk about that too before we head on out. Other than that, I mean, it was a lot of fun. You all right, man?
Yeah. I think I need some water.
You get some water.
Oh, that Rey Mysterio voice. Ouch.
But yeah, it should be a good week of wrestling. It was fun. It was great talking about wrestling this last hour and a half or so. Appreciate you guys. If you guys have any comments, please like what you saw. And then at the same time, go back to what Miguel had asked earlier, was what do you guys think about AAA, expanding to 2 hours? Or what do you guys think about AAA, maybe going into a Netflix, maybe to another platform? if you think that's the right move or not. We would love to hear what you guys think. And again, we appreciate you guys listening. We appreciate your feedback no matter what. Again, this is Tony. To my right, we got Cali Rattlesnake. To my left, we got Mondonia. Mondo,
Like, share, and subscribe.
Oh,
there you
yeah.
go. Oh, I think I gonna say something big else.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
My bad.
I thought you guys were gonna say something else. I was like,
But in the meantime, don't forget we got wrestling. There's a lot happening. We got the World Cup as well, so that's a lot of fun.
We
let's
do
go
have that, and
USA.
like Tony said, we'll be at GCW this Saturday. So if you are,
Oh, next Saturday.
see, I'm getting my Saturdays mixed up. Never mind. I'm gonna stay quiet here, guys.
He's
I don't
too
know what day
excited.
I'm
He
in.
wants to be there already a week early, so we'll catch up to him a week later. So we'll be there
Where's
at
everybody?
GCW. Next month we'll be at Monday Night Raw, and then later down the road we'll be at Triple Mania for night 1 in Vegas. So we should be a lot of fun, a lot of
Can't wait
wrestling
for Triple
action,
Mania.
guys. For this week, we will say a thank you. Again, my name is Tony. We got Cali Rattlesnake. We got Mondonium over here signing off. This is the West Coast Trios Wrestling Podcast. See you next time, guys.